Okay, here we are again. Fridays with Tim. Hey, everybody. We are glad you. Okay, now we're echoing all over the garage. I got to turn that stuff down here. Okay, that's down. Carrie's got it playing on her computer. I got it on my TV. My goodness. Feel like a movie star here. It's all over the place. Okay, Joe Atwood was the first one here. That is not unbelievable. But in that Mr. Larry's not here at 5:30. That's unbelievable. Kevin's the second one there. Nice job buffing my pens. She loves her pens. Oh, you didn't buff them this time. Why not? Oh, my goodness. Joe, you're funny. No idea why my keyboard is going nuts. I meant to type, tell your dad he did a great job. And you said, tell you did that. That works, Joe. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Kevin again. Cindy, Joe, Donnie King, welcome in. How you doing? And what else we got? Donnie King, Stacy, Hardy. Hey, Stacy, I'm glad you're here tonight because after we finish up Christina's pens, you're next. Hey, Christina. Speaking of you, there you are. Sandy Black, all the way from the UC. Glad that you're here. That's UK, not University of Kentucky, but the United Kingdom. Who are they united with anyway? What kingdom? Just one? Or are there multiple kingdoms united into one? I don't know how that works. Anyway, so here we are. And we're going to turn some pens, do all that fun stuff. And I just ordered a camera that is a focusable web camera. And I'm hoping it's probably got pretty high resolution too, but I'm hoping I can stick it on there on this little mount here and then have it aim at the pen and then focus right here where the pen is. Because sometimes the focus is down here or over here or something else, but sometimes it's not always on the pen. But anyway, we'll get rolling here. We got the chat there. Stacy Hardy can't stay long. That's okay. Taking care of mom. That's good, Stacy. That's good. That's good. Everybody's in the house. All right. Got 17,000 people watching. That's good. They're not watching us, but they're watching something somewhere. All right, let's get up to speed here. Day job ended at about 4 o'clock. Jumped into the shop, cleaned out my air filter. That took about 15, 20 minutes. Emptied the collection bin for all the turnings that we do. Prepared some blanks. Posted up a few things. Took some pictures of stuff. Cleaned off my work table. And when I say cleaned off, it meant I made room enough to work. It's not fully like cleared off. But we got to get rolling here, right? Hey, Denise, welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, we got to get rolling here because we got a couple of pens to get done tonight. Should have a pretty clear weekend. Should get a lot done. Got a lot to do. That is faux showa. Okay, let me turn this down just a hair. We're rolling. Blowers on. I can see the chat. Hello, Marion. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're doing a baseball bat. Point. What are we doing again? 0.56. Baseball bat 0.56. Hope you're doing well, Marion. How's Carl doing? I hope Carl's doing well, recovering great, and all that good stuff. Only want the best for that fine man. Talked to my contacts in China last night, and they're as worried about the tariffs as we are, but I assured them it's just a bargaining tactic, and as soon as Mr. Ping gets to the table, then quicker it's all over. That is faux showa. Let's see, what are we getting down to here? We're down about a 0.6 0.65. Got a little bit further to go. 0.56. Got to get my ear balls readjusted. My ear balls. My eyeballs. Carl's getting better. Hoping to be in OKC for Easter. Well, that must be pretty good because Easter's like next week, right? Let's see, 0.62. We're getting there. Tim's a big chicken till he gets his eyes adjusted again. You know, Mary and that donut shop's still open, still doing a great job, but they closed their drive-through, and it made me mad one Sunday morning because I dropped Kevin off at work, and I went down to the drove all the way down to Yukon to the donut shop to learn then that they closed their drive-through. But I was in my PJs and slippers because I was just taking Kevin to work. Oh, take care. Oh, just hanging out. That's good too, man. That's taking care of your mom, quite frankly. You're just taking care of her lonely time, having some fun, do some bonding, all that good stuff. Absolutely, I'm all for that. Oh, I didn't mean take care of her like she wasn't doing good, just that hanging out. So Mary and I get all the way down there. I didn't get donuts. I had to drive all the way back up into Oklahoma City to get the donuts I wanted. And I didn't surprise Carrie, who was still sleeping at that point, with cronuts. So if I ever go down there, I got to get all dressed up. 0.57.5. Perfect. We'll leave it right there. We'll get our little baseball bat going here. And we did discuss, Marion, on our little live. It was the emergency meeting on Tuesday about the status of the diamond painting community and all of the tariffs and stuff like that. And all will be well. And I think just about everybody said, or I'll paraphrase for them, I got enough to make it through the fund. They got a good stash. They'll make it through all the hullabaloo. Hey, Will, how you doing, buddy? Hello, Buffy LeVamp. How you doing? Sort of funny is Buffy LeVamp contacted me through Messenger, and she's a new customer, wanted to know how to get things going. I directed her to the Leopard email because that's where we try to do most of the communication. And then Carrie goes, "Oh, that's Buffy LeVamp." I said, "Oh, I didn't even know that." And now I know who Buffy LeVamp is. Carrie's doing great. Yeah, enabler. Whether you drop ship or not, it doesn't matter because you're going to have to pay that that duty coming in. Yeah, I saw her message out there. Oh my goodness. Sometimes these wood blanks have a soft spot in them. You don't know it till you get in there. And you got to walk gingerly all around them. All right, what are we doing? Oh, doing perfect. That didn't go too deep. That's nice. Little soft spot right there. But yeah, I was talking to my Chinese friends. They live in Shanghai, and they're a little concerned as well. But what was remarkable is they understood why. I'd imagine within a week or two, it'll all be settled down and making deals. And there's a really good YouTube channel called China Observer, and another fellow who's got one that's called China Uncensored. Anyway, it is the talk of the day, that's for sure. Gotta tell you, you gotta treat these wooden blanks a little differently. Let me get a nice little curve in here. Taking molecules off at a time. Yeah, this is one of those dyed ones. Who won the other one? Was that Will that won that one from Troy? I can't remember who that was. It was all dyed red and came out gorgeous, pink or whatever it was. No, it was Caden. It was Caden. That's who that was. Yeah, that blank came out really wild. All right, so we're going to get some good patterns, but now we got to figure out what we're going to do for some kind of design on here. And she has left it to artist choice. Yeah, pink wood hybrid. Yeah, I love the pink, that's for sure. Love the pink. All right, let's see how we're doing here for measurements. This one's down here about 0.57. This one is right at 0.56, right on the money. We'll lose a little bit on sanding that, a little bit on sanding this one. Good variability between the ends. Now, I'm looking at the knots and stuff here, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them. And I think maybe we're going to try a interceptor on this one because that will really make this. There's a lot of burl right in here. Let me wet this up so you can see what I'm looking at. You'll probably see it a little bit better if I wet it. Let's see. See all that burl in there? Going to be gorgeous. Super deep pink. So there's a whole bunch of good looking stuff right in here. A lot of burl. And burl is that defect in the wood that makes it look fantastic. And there's lots of chatoyance rays coming out There must have been a point right about here where it was all coming from, because it looks pretty cool. All right, let's see. Let's find out where the center of this little puppy is. Let me find my measuring stick here. Oh, it's down on the floor. I'll borrow this one here. Man, that's old. I can't even see where the marks are. Let me bend over and get the one off the floor. I even cleaned out the air conditioner because it's just about time for that. So it's running right now. 72 in the shop, which is pretty nice, actually. Okay, that'll be our center. But we're going to come out, let's come out about 7/8 in either direction. There we go. Yes, Joe, this one will be a looker, I'm telling you. They look pretty rough right now, but I can see what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna slow this down a little bit here. Some people would say go real fast when you're doing this particular thing on wood, but that scares me because, man, if it grabs, there is just no forgiveness. So I'll just take my time on this one here. Slowly whittle it away. Hello, Tennis. How you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the group. That's right. Kevin is back to pains. He retrained him. He says, I want to do it better, Dad. How can I do it? So I just re-showed him the steps. He goes, oh, yeah, I was going too fast. I said, that's okay. We'll figure it out. Whew, that's hard on my hands. A lot of vibration and pushing. And now I'm just matching the curves on either side. All right, that looks good there. Let's go make our deep cut here. Never too much in a rush because I don't want to catch a piece of that wood in a bad configuration. And oh, just like that. See how that grabbed that? Oh my goodness. Scared the crap out of me. There's a little soft piece in there. Woo, that was scary. Hello, Donnie. Been doing some practice turning, found that I have lost my touch. 10 blanks later, you'll be a pro. You'll be a pro in no time. You know, Donnie, when I first started 2 years ago, I didn't even have a touch. I was just trying to figure it out. And you know how it goes. You learn. Here we go. Now we'll ease this one right here, make a nice little rump here and a little shoulder on there. Yes, ma'am, Cindy. You are dedicated. All right, that's looking good here. Just going to do a little fine tuning on that curve there. See, it's really hard right here, soft here, and soft there. So it must be some kind of ring in the wood or just the way it sort of distributed the growth or something. All right, now there's a real hard piece right there too that's difficult to curve around. That's pretty good right there. Oh yeah, this thing is going to come alive. Oh my goodness, that is pretty. That is going to be pretty. Now this is where the sanding turns my whole diaper pink. I'm going to get this 80 grit right here. I'm going to get a clean one because I don't want to work any of that resin dust down into the blank. What you got there, baby? Oh, don't do that, baby. Be steady. Look at that pink. Pink sawdust, all wet. That's right, Donnie. Nowhere to go but up, buddy. Nowhere to go but up. Look at that pink blood running down there. And I'm going to do this part here with this particular sanding block until it is all nice and smooth. Then we'll go to the next step. And I'm going to use this to shape just a little bit of this finger area here because I want it to be nice and slopey. Yep, that's shaping up very nicely. Very nice. Stacy Hardy, you still here? I don't know if she ducked out yet with Mom. So in your area, you've got the Save Marts, and there's another one of the same company, the same brand that has an F. And then I think there's another one, Save a Lot or something. Anyway, I'll have to look it up, and there's a chain, but I might get that gig where I'll be working in their stores a little bit there. Might need your help if you know somebody out there that is sort of lightly computer savvy. I mean, they're not going to be doing much except replacing hard drives and rebooting machines as they upgrade to this new software. But might need 3 or 4 people out there. I already got 2 right now, and I'll put out my feelers. But if you think of any folks who are a bit nerdy and want something to do on overnights for about 4 months, then might fit in well. Hey, Donnie, that's exactly what I said when I started, man. Man, in fact, you know what's funny? Delusional as I was, I thought they looked fantastic because I didn't know what crappy looked like. And nobody bought those. Those are just in a bin somewhere. If Cindy's got one, she got a decent one. But yeah, it was tough growing, tough figuring it out. I'll tell you, it was fun and getting better all the time. But yeah, it was funky. Yeah, it may take you a minute to, you might know some 25-year-old person down there, male, female, whatever, that, sort of bents themselves towards that nerdy world. If not, no big deal. But it's not hard to find those people. I just thought if you had a friend, you never know. And I love going through my network of people to find folks because they generally won't recommend somebody who's crappy. I have a network of people, baby. Carrie's like, oh my gosh, you have a network? I'm like the mafia, man. I got a network. Yeah, it might be Food Max. If you Google Save Mart, you'll see the other brands. There's 3 of them. Remember, one started with F, and it's probably Food Max. But there's about 200 and something, or 191 stores that are all the same company, but different brands. One buys another, and they just keep the name because it's too expensive to change the name. So they just keep it. That's feeling pretty nice right there. Now let's get this other side feeling as good. And yeah, Stacy, the name of the company is Save Mart, but they've got two other chains that they bought long ago. Total roughly 200 stores, 195, 200. But they're mostly the Valley, the Bay Area, north all the way up to Redding, and a couple over in Reno, Tahoe area. That's my day job, not my night job. Yeah, Lucky. There you go. Food Max and Lucky. I mean, I ran Walmart, so I understand their whole business model, and their structure of their stores and why they do what they do. But personally, I like the smaller grocery stores that are, more catering to the customer, and they're got a real bakery in them and a real deli and that kind of stuff. Real fresh fruit section, and yeah, like Uptown Groceries, even where Kevin works, Homeland, super nice little grocery store. Kevin's Homeland is probably very much like Save Mart, Lucky, Food Max, that kind of thing. Just a super nice neighborhood grocery store. Got pretty much all the consumables you need. In a really nice grocery store here in Oklahoma City area only is called Crest. They're one of the top grocery stores in the country, and when you go in there, they are. And Marion, if you're still around, you may have shopped at the Crest there in Yukon, because it's just an exit down from where you guys camp your camper. Yeah, near where your daughter lives. But I like Crest. They're not cheap, but man, they're great. But Walmart just has a totally different thing. Hey, Larry, how you doing? Everyone's in town. That's awesome. Bashes. Never heard of that one. Cool. Who owns it now, Cindy? Did you buy them? Is it a good grocery store? Real nice. Yeah, Homeland's not cheap either. I mean, most of the smaller grocery stores that aren't Walmart and Target and Publix are generally a little more expensive. They have to make the margin because they don't have, 5,000 stores to operate with. And Stacy, I don't know if you heard my legal joke yesterday, but I was telling this guy from the other client I went and saw in Dallas. I said, I was working on the contract, and when I wrote it up, it said, I work for you and you pay me. And if we have any disagreements, it'll be a best 3 out of 5 arm wrestling competition, which of those I'll probably win. But and then now I think it grew to 15 pages today. A document. It's like, come on, lawyers. Everything and anything is in this doc. Nice, Connie. Welcome in, Connie. Good to see you there. Finished artist room, Carrie, and now she's kitting up here for the food. And Joe has finished almost the whole first row of here for the food. Ooh, that's feeling nice and smooth. Got a little rough spot right here, but I think that's just part of the grain. Sometimes you could sand it forever and it's just the way the grain goes. It's not too expensive. It has fresh fruit, bakery, and good. Nice. Yeah, I like a good grocery store. Yeah, it's bleeding everywhere. It's bleeding everywhere. Now, remember that when we get to this point and it's all sanded, we don't use the white polish on this one. We're going to clean all the dust off it. I literally flood it with water and get rid of all the pink dust. And then once I'm assured that's all gone, we're going to heat this bad boy up. Let's see, get a little preview here. Oh, man, this is going to be a smoker. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Look at that thing. Ooh, look at these little burls in here. Oh, my goodness. Okay, now we got to heat it up and get rid of all the water. This is a stabilized bank, but there's still wood pulp in it. All right, so I spin it real fast, and then I just literally hold there, and you'll watch it turn white or whiter. Owned by Raley's. Yeah, Raley's is good. Yeah, Kevin, I'm not sure if it's just your store that has all the great fresh cut fruit because your people are awesome, or if it's all of Homeland, but your store definitely. Whoever's in there working that produce section, they got it nailed. All right, so this thing is now pretty well dried out, and I'll just do a little bit more just to make sure it's all dried out. And it's only a molecule or two deep. I meant so not sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, Slowed. I don't even have a full. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, don't even have a full row done on Hades and Persephone. That's okay. You go as you go. And I only do paint gems and mini dazzlers, so you guys got me beat by a long shot. What's that, babe? That was Buffy LeVamp. I don't think they can hear you, Carrie. Carrie's only got one square done. Okay, now we're going to slow it down to really slow. And now we're going to put the beeswax and the beeswax. It's a mixture, beeswax and vegetable oil. And then I just soak it in really good. It's a little bit warm. And then I'm going to spin it really fast and heat it up so that it soaks in well. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to put a little bit more in the middle here. My jar is getting not so full anymore. There we go. What's that, babe? Ah. I didn't hear you. My cuppeth have not run over, she says. What cup are you talking about? Oh, my beeswax. It's running out. It's running out. Yeah, not running over. She's over there. Hello, McFly. McFly. There it is. That is going to be gorgeous. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We need to see this in the leopard scope because I'm not sure if you can see all that burl. The thing I love about the wood pens is when they're done, all of the design in them. And we'll show you some chatoyance. We'll show you the burl. And then we'll show you the grain of the wood. That's important. Yeah, I can't see it too well on the screen. Let's get over here to the leopard scope. I think the leopard scope is unplugged. Let me plug it in. I think I got to plug it in way up here. There we go. Leopard scope has been activated. Settings, camera, digital leopard scope. Okay, here we go. So we'll start on this end here. And you can see, so let's first talk about the grain. See the grain there? The grain is running this direction along the pen. So what is it that goes opposite the grain? Those lines that go across the grain, there's the burl. See the burl? And then you got those white things that are so hard, they don't suck up any dye. That is chatoyance. Chatoyance is stress in the wood, usually caused by wind or something like that, that stresses the tree across the grain, and the light reflects differently off that part of the wood. And now we've got the burl. See these little burls there, those little dots? That's the burl of the wood. And that's the prized part everybody wants. Look at that. Oh, looks like measles, doesn't it? It's the measles outbreak on the wood. Now look at that wood right there. All white. It's perfectly shaped nicely. But man alive, look at that. Ooh. Oh, it's just looks so like gorgeous.
Looks like black-eyed peas.
Yeah, it's just the gorgeousness of that burl. And that's what you're paying for in the blank. You want that burl and you want the chatoyance. See that chatoyance there? As I move it around, that light reflects differently off that chatoyance as the light hits it. And chatoyance is a French word for cat's eye. But there it is, Christina. That's a gorgeous blank. Oh my goodness. Good chunk of wood God has made for us. Who knew that we would enjoy these gorgeous woods like this? Crazy. It's a defect in the wood, but that makes that defect worth even more. All right, let's skip on back to the overhead cam there. There we go. Let's get rid of the murder scene here. Looks like somebody got killed here on the diaper. Now this one here is another piece of wood. I'm not sure what kind of wood this is, but it's cool looking. The grain's going this way. The chatoyance is going across. And there's not really a lot else happening in this one. I don't see any burl. I just see chatoyance and the grain of the wood. Yeah. Someone call Rebecca. Yeah, it's pink. The murder scene. Call Rebecca. All right, let's slow that down. Get it to about 1,700 RPMs. All right. Blower is on. And let's go. We're going to do another 0.56 baseball bat. And I'll tell you, you never know what you're going to get when you're turning these wooden blanks, but I have yet to be disappointed. Let's see, we're getting down to about a 0.62. That pink stuff is all wet and cold. I don't want it to get on the wood of this particular blank. So I'm going to get rid of most of that. There we go. Now let's see where we're getting to here. .6. Got a long way to go. I don't know why I'm such a chicken. Dig in, Timmy, dig in. .5, 9.5, and 8.5. Almost there. All right, that should be where we want to be because we'll sand it right down to where we want it. Yep, 0.5, 6.5. Beautiful. Well, Buffy Levant, maybe you liked it so much they won't let you like it anymore. Ooh, you done? Oh no, you got more. Got some hair and some background. Nice, Kev. Very nice. Kevin was just showing me his Draco Malfoy. He'll probably be done with it by Sunday. Harry is next. All right, let's see how we're doing here. 0.60. Getting down in there. .59. All right, that might be about where we want to be. 0.5, 7.5. Perfect. This one here is 0.5, 7.5. We'll take that half a millimeter off as we, or point, not half a millimeter, 5 thousandths of an inch. Cindy has a hairy spark something. I can't. The little heart is covering up that word, whatever it is. So as soon as somebody comments again, then it'll push that up and I'll be able to read that. All right, let's slim down this middle a little bit. All right, so we got a lot of, these are very hard, these dark things. I can feel them when I'm turning. That'll be cool. So let's see, what do we got for this young lady so far? We got some vases, we got a flying tire, another vases, we got the interceptor. I think I'm going to go with a TIE fighter. The reason is it keeps the pen thick and gives a lot of strength from end to end. Oh, that's wrong. 7/8, not 3/4. There we go. Let me erase that mark there. Oh, you have a hairy sparkle pal. Oh, very nice. Very. I don't know what a sparkle pal is, but probably pretty cute. Sounds cute anyway. Let's see. What was I doing? Oh, I'm doing the TIE fighter. And we're safe doing this kind of cut because we don't have any burl in there. As beautiful burl is, it is a weakness in the wood. All right. Nice shape. Looks good. Curve those edges over just a little bit to soften them. Boom. All right. Hello, Melissa. Sparkles in the Woods. How you doing? How's the kids today? They are high. They are here. Oh, kids have friends over. They are here, but entertained elsewhere for the moment. Nice. Tim, can't read it. Got somebody needs one more comment, and I can move it above the little heart in the corner there. I don't know why it does that. I guess because I think I'm watching my own stream or something. Tim is turning my pens next Sunday. Will you all hang out with me during? Oh, that's awesome, Melissa. Yeah, there'll be a crowd here for sure. There will be a crowd here for sure. I put my thumb in the air and calculated that's about when her pens will come up in the rotation. You know, it's funny is people will say, "Hey, am I next?" or "When am I coming up?" And generally, we don't answer those because we never really know. Um, the best I could say is, "You're coming up soon." And we were talking with Melissa and just figured out, I'm like, okay, she got friends coming over and all that kind of stuff. I said, we'll just move it out to there. And by then, it should definitely come up in the rotation. She's very excited. I'm very excited. I always love doing new customers up. Did you get the kids a lathe yet? Ah, there you go. Ash Burl. Yeah, this is Curly Maple. It's going to be a stunner, I'm telling you, when we're done. How'd you like that pink one? That wild or what? This should look like the furniture. I'm not sure what you call a spindle, I guess, on a kitchen chair when we're done. It'll look pretty cool. Oh, that's feeling good. Man, look at that thing shine. Just doing that. Whoo! Man alive, this thing's going to be on fire. I'm not sure if the camera shot you guys are seeing picks up the chatoyance as this thing is rotating, but man alive, that is something else. That is pretty cool. Yeah, so we're a furniture store, right? We just make parts for furniture. Furniture part store. I got a shirt at Bucky's when we went down to Texas. We met Joe, and Carrie and I went to Bucky's going home, and she says, "Can I get some shirts?" And I'm always for a good Bucky's shirt. In the back of the shirt, it's purple shirt with all Easter Bucky on the front, and on the back it says, "Forget about the eggs. I'm hunting beaver nuggets." Oh, you actually own a furniture store. Cool. Very nice. Everybody needs furniture. That's for sure. This is feeling real nice. By the way, the curly in the curly maple is the chatoyance for the pens. That's what makes it curly. That is awesome, Melissa. I love furniture. One day I was going to be a woodworker and I was going to make tables. My first couple of tables would be pretty cheap, but I'd probably get quickly to the $15,000 dining room table just because I love a good challenge. See you around, Stacy. Say hi to Mom for us. Hope you guys have a good time hanging out. Ooh, that's smooth. Ooh, that's smooth. And then right after we do this pen here, before we jump into Stacy's, we're going to talk about something we talked about on Tuesday, and that was the pen with the Tony Street polymer clay inside it, the tube, if you will. I shined it up so you could see how gorgeous her work is. But somebody asked if that could be made into an ink pen, and I'm not sure if we fully explained why not. So we're going to take a little stab at that, and that one person can look back at that and go, oh, here's why. Because it's way too much to type. And I'm not sure I could type it with enough words good enough for someone to understand fully why not. And when I say why not, I could do anything, but the question is how much do I destroy the blank to get there? And what's left over when I'm done with that blank. So some people will say, oh, yeah, I could do anything. Yeah, me too, but I'm not sure it's the right thing to do for that particular blank. And I'll explain why. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to do a sneak preview of this one like we did the other one here. Oh my goodness, look at that. Woohoo! That is going to be pretty. Okay, let's heat it up and dry it out. Sometimes it will grab. And now I think it got all wet. So let me get a dry one. Hello, Julie. How you doing? Yeah, there isn't many pens at the website because literally every pen I do is custom. And we're going to get to some inventory pens eventually, but I'm still 150, 200 pens behind, so I don't get a chance to turn inventory. This is a particularly wooden, all wood blank, which we do as well. Oh, look at that before I wax it up. Man, that is pretty. Well, that's very nice that you heard all those wonderful things. We work hard to take care of the customer. and do a great job and take care of the customer no matter what. So we appreciate those kind words out there in the world. Now let's get to some beeswax, and there we go. I'm gonna put the lathe on low. Come on, go on. There we go. Gonna rub it on gently, massage it in, then we'll take it real high and get it all heated right in. But what usually happens is we have blank drops, Julie, and people will pick a blank they like, and then that blank maker will send it to us, and then Carrie would contact you and say, hey, we got your blank. Here's how we get rolling with your turning. Or you can find blanks out there in the world and just send them. But once you get the process down once, boom, you're good to go. Well, welcome to the Fancy Pens. And right now I'm literally just heating up the wood fibers that are in this pen. It is a stabilized blank, so it's got mostly resin in there with the wood fibers that are left over that didn't have stuff in it, didn't have air in it. So they suck all the air out and let the resin flow in between the wood fibers, but they're still wood fibers. So we got to treat it like a real piece of wood. There it is. This one's going to blow you away. I can see it already. Dang, man alive. Boy, I tell you, if that were a top of a table, everybody would just look at the table and never eat dinner. Look at that chatoyance. Remember, the grain is going this way, and all these things are going across, reflecting light differently. Is called, again, chatoyance. Chatoyance, which is French for cat's eye. And that's caused by stresses in the wood as it grows. Let's check that under the leopard scope, because that is going to be awesome. Awesome. Yeah, wood is just... defective wood is God's gift to man, I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we are at the leopard scope. And here's this end here. Look at that. Remember, the grain is going left to right, and the chatoyance across the grain is going up and down in this particular reference. And this is curly maple. And the reason they call it curly maple is because of that chatoyance. And if you see, if I rock it back and forth, it reflects that life differently in the cells. And it literally looks like a piece of furniture. Oh my goodness. That is beautiful. So, so nice. So, so nice. And then we're just going to review all of Christina's pens. Last week and this week. Oh, let me turn the camera back to where everybody can see what I'm doing here. Let me get rid of that, or I'll get that wet stuff all over the back of my hand. There are her pens. Sort of a very glitter-full type of pen there. This one's got shaved resin, re-resined in. This one is just a very prismatic pen. Both of these are vase turnings. And then this is the interceptor on this beautiful ash burl that we looked at earlier. And then we've got the quilted maple, curly maple. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Thank you, Christina. You just got great blanks here, I'm telling you. And again, my job as a turner is to get out of the way of the beauty of the blank. Truly, truly it is. Now let's take a little break here, and we're going to talk about an incredible blank. We looked at this yesterday. This is a blank. Yes, Donnie, it is a great set. You need the second one from the left. Was that the pink one? Everybody wants the pink one. So this is a Troy Shipley blank with a insert that is done by Tony Street. Tony Street is a polymer clay artist, and she wraps it around a tube. Now I finished, let me show you this side I didn't do here. This is what this is going to look like when we get the pen finished, except it'll be round. Let me make sure we don't have a reflection from the light there. I'll hold that at an angle so we don't have that reflection. There you go. And I'll even get a little bit closer. Actually, let's go to the leopard scope for this one, because this is just so beautiful. You got to see it up front. Tony Street is an incredible polymer artist. Polymer. Look at this. All that is done with polymer clay, and it takes hours and hours and hours, and she puts it all together into a flat thing, slices it, and then wraps it around this blank. And I've drawn those black lines on there for a reason we'll explain in a second. Okay, so somebody asked, could this be made into a ink pen? So the answer is yes, it could, but here's why I won't do it. First of all, this is a $56 blank before we even start turning it. So this is going to be well over $100 pen. And the way this is constructed is Tony creates her polymer clay creations. Oh, I got it in my hand. And she wraps it around a brass tube. And this brass tube would normally be the tube that you would find in a pen kit that you would drill through something and then insert the tube and epoxy it in. Then you would turn it, and then this would be your pen, and you'd put all the other stuff around it, making an ink pen. Tony already sells blanks that you can make an ink pen out of that aren't encased in this resin. Now, what's inside here is a brass tube with that polymer creation. I can't see the beginning of it, but wrapped around it so that it makes it gorgeous. I would have to be able to, number one, cut this off to the right length and find, miraculously, the middle of this blank. And the problem is the middle of this tube is going to be filled with resin. So that means I would have to drill this tube out that's inside of here in order to make an ink pen. And I can promise you that I got no precision equipment that will do that perfectly, because I still need this to be perfectly the right size to fit all the parts of the pen together. And all the other parts of the pen are fit to grip inside this brass tube. So yes, you could turn this into an ink pen, but I would not, because you would waste a $57 blank, and you can buy this tube already ready for a pen for about $40. So if you wanted an ink pen, visit claypenblanks.com. Clay pen blanks. And you can get a blank that's got this stuff on it, and she will sell it to you, and even tells you, you can even pick the type of pen that you want to apply it to, and she will put the right brass tube in with the right length and all that kind of stuff, send it to me or to you, and you can send it to me, and then boom, we can make you a beautiful ink pen out of this. And they are gorgeous. One of a kind, just gorgeous. But this is going to be a diamond painting pen, because now I have to put this line on here, and I've got to drill on the ends of this perfectly to the center of this. So when it's turning like this, it's turning around that blank. Well, I want that thing to be as straight as I possibly can. So drilling the holes on the end for the mounts will be super critical. So as it's turning, it is perfectly turning around that particular thing. when I turn this into a diamond painting pen, I will not cut into that polymer blank. I will not cut into that butterfly. I will leave part of this clear resin around it so it never gets disturbed or damaged. Thank you, Joe. Yep, claypenblanks.com. And yeah, holy cow is the right word, right? It's just, when you see how she does this and then puts all this together, and just go to YouTube and just look up Clay Millefiori. In fact, I'll show you one just since we're talking about it. And this is what we do. We educate here so people can get way cool stuff. Let me see. Let me bring up YouTube, and I will Google polymer, Polymer, Millef. Oh, here we go. Let me share. And I don't think Tony Street has one on here, but let's see, where'd my thing go? Here we go. Let me drop this down here so I can see it. We'll come back here and we'll present this particular window here. Okay, so you can see this window here, and we can pick out one of these right here. Millefiori process in 3 minutes. So they're flattening the clay, and they're getting ready. You really have to think way down the road in order to know exactly what you're aiming for. So this is the process that Tony do to create her designs. Now she's building the cane. The cane is the thing that you end up with. Look at that. She wrapped the white or the blue around the white or the gray, whatever color that is. And now she's shaping it. Look at that. She's starting her pattern. Yeah, you have to think so many steps ahead to get what you want to get. I am tremendously admiring the effort that goes into this. And when you see this and you get one of these pens, you go, wow, wow, wow. And she's just doing a regular design, not a flower or something like that yet that I could tell. But now she's figuring out how it's going to go together. Oh, look at that. And these people that do this sit here all day long just playing with this clay. Look at that. And the more and more you stretch it, and those gray lines and the orange lines, they get thinner and thinner, getting super detailed. That's why you could imagine how large that butterfly in that pen blank started off. And there she is. This particular design is done. Then she's making whatever this is, a Skinner blend, whatever that is. Oh, she's blending it. Oh yeah, this is wild here. I forgot about this. It's a little bit of ombre across the polymer clay. And she's doing an accordion stack. Look at all we're learning. You waste a little bit of this clay too, as you can tell. Extra layer of white adds contrast. Not aids contrast, adds contrast. Finished Skinner block. Is that wild? Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? That would be so fun to figure that out. I'd probably do really good at squares. But anyway, you could imagine the effort that goes into making these things. And wow is all I can say. So if you want a blank, then if you want an ink pen, hey, how you doing, Adam? Good to see you. If you want a pen, let me share this screen here. Let's see, what am I sharing? I'm going to share this new tab here. And on this new tab, I'm going to go to pen, State Industries. And I'm going to, now, if you go to Tony Streets, I'm going to share this tab here. I'm going to go to claypenblanks.com. And when you get to her website, and let's just say that you want to get an animal, you want to go drama, and you want this thespian thing here, you would order it, and then you would go, you know, what do you want? I want a dragonfly, and that would be dragonflies around there. I'm not sure what that looks like, but I'm sure she's got pictures somewhere on her website. But then you got to choose an option for a pen. And let's just say you want a bolt action ballpoint. So now we're choosing the Dragonfly bolt action ballpoint. I guess this is going to update with a price and stuff like that. But while that's doing that, we'll go back to Penn State, and then we'll look for bolt action. And you can say, I want to get the bolt action gold pen kit. And there's the bolt action gold pen kit. And that particular flowered blank would go right in that center part there, whatever you happen to choose. So you can see how it's a bit of a process to come to her website. That one's not doing very well. Let me back up a little bit. Let's go to floral. And then we'll choose this one here because that's just freaking gorgeous. Look at that. The flowers, the butterflies, they were all done in that way that you saw. And there's the hummingbirds. So you go to Tony's Choice. She will send you whatever. Or you could go and I want the hummingbird. And then I want green rose. So she's going to mix them up if she's got them. And then I want a Faith, Hope, Love ballpoint. And that's going to be $55 for that blank. And you come over here to Penn State and you go Faith, hit enter. And then there's the Faith, Hope, Love gold and brass and antique and all that kind of stuff. And the blanks that she would send you would fit these two sections of this particular pen. And that's how you would put all that kind of stuff together. So, yeah, good to see you, Adam. I saw him up there. And then Melissa says, hello, Adam. Adam's an old-time friend. Carrie says, hi, Adam. He's over in the UK with Angel Lee. She was here last night. And Sandy is from the UK. You'll see him in here once in a while, too. But anyway, that's how you would order a pen blank that would go that I don't have to destroy this $57 expensive pen blank that's going to be a diamond painting pen. So, yep, thanks. She accepts your wonderful words. He says, congrats on your Mrs. Butter D event. Looks like it's going great. Loving the sponsor merchandise. Yes, sir. Trying to keep up with you, Adam. You had a heck of a thing with your year-long deal going. Pretty exciting.
I'm still doing the Asian stuff, but
yeah. But anyway, so if you want an ink pen, email us, leopards@leopardlw.com, and sort of go in that direction, and we can guide you through a pen that you may want. And then, of course, you would pick the blank that you absolutely love, so on and so forth. And that way, we're not destroying it in a beautiful blank. And Adam, what we were talking about was this Troy Shipley blank that has a Tony Street insert in the inside of it. And why I wouldn't use this one as a ink pen, because it's now meant for diamond painting, and it would be a disastrous destruction to get this thing out of there and make it into an ink pen. Whole lot cheaper just to buy the blank from Tony. And again, it is a pen that you will use the rest of your life because they are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. What's that, babe? Oh, yeah. Once you shine that up and you can see that blank in there, it's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's a new one that Troy Shipley was working with a lady named Tony Street. And the link is above there, Adam. It's claypenblanks.com. And you know Troy, so that's no big deal. Yeah, it's a wild looking blank. I can't wait to turn that. It's going to come up in a little while, but whoo, that's a pretty one and a very expensive blank. Literally, I think that was $56 or $57 for that blank alone before turning services. So I got to be real careful with that one.
Yeah, we got a couple from Stacy H too coming up.
Yeah, definitely, Adam. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Let's get making a pen here.
Oh,
We got Stacy Hardy's pen here. Let's get up to speed here, and let me go review what we're doing for her. We are doing, let's see, 5 1/4. That's the length, and then we got 0.46 baseball bat. Oh, she wants vases all the way down. Is that right? She wants vases for everything. She must have fallen in love with that one vase we did for her.
we go to 8. And then just go look.
Yeah, go verify that. I'll get the baseball bat and stuff out of the way first. All right, blowers on. I'll look at the chat for a second. Okay, not nothing there I got to caught up on. All right, we're back to all resin now, and that's less scary than the wood ones. Those wood ones are stressful. All right, where are we going down? Point. Oh, where'd my thing go? 0.46. Okay, 0.46. Yeah, we do them on Thrilling Thursdays now. We moved off a Wednesday. Can't remember why, Adam. But like Joe said, it's on Thursdays now. Instead of Wild Wednesday, it's Thrilling Thursday. And we're doing blank. Hang on, Care. We're doing blank drops in the group as well. Blanks by DPP is dropping. Don Van Dyne drops. All that kind of good stuff too. Let's see how small we're getting here. We're down to about a 0.50. Got a little bit more to go. Let's see, any chat I'm missing? I can sit and watch turn pens for hours. Yes, sir, me too. I could turn them for hours too. Yep, come on back in. Hello, Morgan. How you doing? Now, Morgan is the 16. No, hang on. Lily. Oh, Morgan's the 9-year-old. Lily is the 12-year-old, and then I forgot the older fella's name. Oh, 9. Morgan's 9. Okay, I was close. Yes, we do have some new turning designs, Adam. We've got an Interceptor, a TIE Fighter. Joe, you probably know better than I do. We're doing the E-Painter pens now. Those are the ones you hook up the little air vacuum. It's really great for AB, I'm told. Joe's got a lot of experience with it. I have just a little bit of experience with it. And our little e-painters have a rear end on them called a bee stinger. We probably got a couple of more I forgot that Joe could probably remember. Whew. Still not skinny enough here. They're not hard to turn. They just require a little bit different pressure because this bushing here is pushing on the center of the pen. And when I drill a hole all the way through, then the shoulder of the bushing is now pushing on the end of the pen. So it's a little bit different, but not too bad. We get away with it, that's for sure. We figured it out a little bit. All right, let me see how my measurements are here. I still think I'm a little too fat. Nope, that's on the money right there, and that is too fat there. I got to skinny this one down here. Were these vases, babes? Oh, okay. Carrie's trying to determine if all these are vases. Because that was odd. I know she likes vases now. I just didn't know she wanted them all to be vases. I'll just thin this one down a little bit here. Oh, yeah, the bow ties. We've got the bow tie, the executive bow tie, the tuxedo bow tie, and the clown bow tie. And it's sort of a little design on the middle of the pen. This is going to be cool. Got some globules coming up in there. That might be neat. Let's see, I'll turn the blower off while Carrie straightens me out here to tell me what I'm turning. What we got there, Bear? Don't know.
Because it's like,
Where's 2028 at?
I don't. It's not.
Or
in there.
2208.
I mixed them all up.
Oh, you mixed them all up.
Because it was just the way they were all in there.
It's
not in that one. I checked that one.
Oh, she's got to check a bunch of ones to get the right one there.
And some of them are like this, and so it's mostly like, okay, I would just do it with
because this one would be very odd with vases because the type of Bill Durr it is.
I would just do artist choice.
Okay.
That's usually what she wants anyway.
Yeah, and I think one of these will be a great vase one, that's for sure. Let's see.
Some of these came in with just turning service, and there's no way to be turning it before then.
Hey, Brian, how you doing? See you around, Adam. Have a good day. Good night. Yeah, it is getting very late there. Adam's in the UK, and it is like probably 1 a.m. there or something, right, Adam? Whew, it's late. Or early, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, just do artist choice.
Okay. Now this one here, I'm gonna wet this one up here so you can see what I'm seeing. Oh, you're funny, girl. You're a funny, girl. So you see these globules that are on the inside of there? I'm going to do an offset mustache. I'm going to come right over here and we're going to come around these, and these are going to look killer when we shine it up, because they don't really go to the end. They sort of start right down in here. I don't know how he does that. It's like magic when he does that stuff. But I am going to do this. I want to get enough of a rise out of it. So we'll probably take it about right there. And that will come up out of there, out of the rise, and these will be right on the inside edges of that. That'll be cool. And as it's spinning, let me turn the blower on. This is a very simple turn, but it's going to make this thing look like a lava lamp, and it's just so wild. All right, now we're going to get this one curved nicely. Here, let me do one last measurement to see where I'm at. Perfect on that one, and perfect on that one. Beautiful. Hi and good night, TVF. Oh, the Vineyard Farmhouse. That's Brian. Adam's probably gone, but that's Brian. Brian pops in now and again, saying, hey, he's got a fun channel over there. I don't know how Larry just found us somewhere. I'm not sure where Larry found us in there. You bet, Morgan. Yeah, so Morgan, what we do is we look at the blank and we try to figure out what type of turn or what type of design will enhance the blank as much as we possibly can. And although this is a pretty minimal design, wait till you see this blank when it's done. It'll just blow your eyeballs out. If you know what a lava lamp is, Morgan, that's about that's what's going to sort of resemble a little bit a lava lamp. And if you don't know what that is, you can Google it and you'll be like, oh, yeah, I've seen those before. But it's those lamps filled with oil and water. And I think the oil is colored and the water is not. And as the oil heats up, it starts moving around. And then as it gets to the top, it cools. It might be the water that has the color. I can't remember which it is. Anybody know that? What that is? Yeah, lava lamps are cool. In Morgan, I use the water. I'm just water in the bottle. Nothing fancy, literally just water out of the tap. And the reason I use that is to keep the dust down and to keep the heat down. Because as I'm rotating this and pressing against it with sandpaper, it definitely wants to build up some heat. So that cools it down just a drop or two and you're good to go. It's my method. I'm sure somebody else does it completely differently, and that's okay. Everybody develops their own little deal, you know. All right, now we'll go up a step in the fineness of the the sandpaper, the newspaper. And I got this black thing on my finger because I got a Band-Aid on there. And it is a Band-Aid recommended by my good friend Denise D. You'll see her in the chat once in a while. And they work like a champ, but they don't do well with all this water and pressure when it gets all over them. So if I cover it up with one of these cut-off rubber gloves or nitrile gloves, then it keeps it protected. And I got a cut right there. I actually almost had it healed, and today I was messing around and didn't have it covered, snagged it on something and opened it up a little bit. So hopefully by tomorrow or the next, it'll be all healed up again. And I use my index finger a lot, as you can tell. So it's tough to heal that there. Yeah, nothing. That's just a cut. No big deal. No big deal. All right, now for the first time tonight, because we've been doing wood, we'll break out the polish. And now you can really start seeing the sun, moon, and stars come through in the black. There we go. And there it is. And you can see, yeah, you should be able to see the glitter and see that black in there. I'm going to take this over to the leopard scope because I want you to see these black globules and how you can look through the blank and see the other side. It's very cool. Almost looks like a couple of people holding hands and spinning around. Pretty nifty. All right, let's go to the leopard scope. So there's the blank with the glitter in it and the super fine glitter that makes it really sparkle nicely. And of course, you got the big chunks of glitter that is the sun, the moon, and the stars. And then we get down in here into the black globules of resin. They're very thin. You see how thin that is? It's just on the edge. That one's a little fatter right there on that side. And they're holding hands right in the middle, and they don't go all the way to the bottom. So it's sort of like a ghostly kind of figure in there. Absolutely gorgeous blank. Bill Durr does a fantastic job. And that's Bill Durr from All Things Handcrafted. I don't know what that little triangle right in the middle of the blank is, but it's stuck. It looks like the point of a star that got cut off. and then put in that glitter. It's right there in the middle. Right there. You see it shine right there. Very nice. Very, very nice. Good looking blank. Good looking blank. All right, this one here. Oops, I just tossed my water bottle in the trash. Can't do that. Yeah, leopard scope really brings it in close. You get to see what I get to see. All right, here we go. We'll do one more because it's getting near 8 o'clock, but what the heck? This is so much fun. All right, blower on. We'll turn that tape right off. Here we go. Let's see how little we're getting here. Down to about a 0.53. We're heading to 0.46. Point 0.50 coming down. All right, that might be where we want to be. 0.47. Very close. We'll take a couple of molecules off, and we'll call that one good. All right, we're almost there. Let's see what we get. See you around, Donnie. See you tomorrow, maybe. Point 4, 6.5. Perfect. Over here, 0.47. We'll take a couple of molecules off of here. Now, Morgan, we're going to find the middle. Jackie B's Hobby Hive. I know you. Yes, the one in Ohio is called Great Lake Escape. GLE. We're going to that one. But the first one we're going to is called Mingle in the Mitten. And that is in Roscommon, Michigan. And that's, I think, is in May. That's coming up in a few weeks. And the other one's in June. And then we're going to Lone Star Retreat, which is down in Texas. Joe, you going to that one? I think Joe's going to that one too. This is the only time we've gone to 3. This is our last year. We visited one as a vendor for a couple of hours, and then we actually attended the one in Ohio, Archbold, Ohio. And that one is run by Jennifer Roberts, also known as J-Rob. And you'll find her at the channel called DP Addiction Adventures, or DP Adventures Addiction. I forget which it is. Which is it, Joe? Can't remember. Yes, ma'am, you will, Marion. Can't wait. Can't wait. You can throw spitballs at the back of my head again. You're welcome, Jackie Bees. Happy to help when I can, that's for sure. Yeah, I got to do some retreat pens too. Carrie wants me to bring a little collection of pens to sell. So I've turned a couple already, and I just got to work them in and just turn them in a little now and again. Last year we were totally unprepared because it was literally last minute that we were going. Somebody dropped out and we got to go. And we met a ton of cool people we sort of already knew. Oh, they were diamonds. No wonder they stung a little bit. But we met some people that we knew, like Marion and a couple others. And then we met some new folks. Lots of new folks. And there we go, vases. Gonna smooth off those little pointy parts there because they could be like a razor blade. Blower is off. I'm gonna flip the diaper over. Oh, I thought it would be better looking. It's just as ugly. It's just not as pink. Yep, Joe will be there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's a good crowd. If anybody gets to go to retreat, it's a nice treat. Retreat. But you just meet a bunch of nice people that are just into diamond painting, just like you are. Is that when that one is, Joe? September? I know they're all over the place. It'll sort of be a working retreat for me because I got stuff I got to do. So I'll be working in the car on the way up. I'll be probably working a little bit while I'm there. A couple of big deals I'm working on, so I got to make sure they come to fruition. All right, got to refill my water bottle. That's pretty quick because I have 3 little bottles of water here to fill myself up. There we go. Grab some paper here. Didn't you attend about 8 or so last year? Hello, Ellen. I'm not sure I understand your question, but are no roll pen? What is a no roll pen? What is on there? I feel something. There's like a piece of glitter there or something. I'll just keep doing that. Oh, flat on one side. Diamond Pen Pals is the one that does those. We don't do those here simply because it's their idea. Yeah, that's called a roll stop. I know what you're talking about now. And our wonderful friend Renee, her dad, I think, turns those, and that is sort of their trademark. And yeah, we could do them, but that's sort of their deal. I don't want to steal that from them. That would be not nice. And we get along with Renee and Diamond Pen Pals. She drops blanks in our group, all that kind of good stuff. But it is a great idea, I'll tell you that. It is a great idea. Oh, 3 last year, huh, Marion? Oh, so those are the ones we're going to. I guess we're going to the good ones if you're going there. Yeah, those are great pens, Ellen. Great pens. Carrie bought one of those. My wife, we run this little business here, and she showed me that. I go, oh, that's a great idea. And then people have asked us over the last 2 years, hey, could you do one of those? And I said, well, I could, but I don't really want to be caught doing it because somebody will think I'm stealing their idea, and that's, sort of their trademark. Sort of like Flower Girl Blanks, she does her thing with the flowers and stuff. No, those are you actually turn it just like this, and then you sand one side of it, and then you buff it nice and smooth. Yeah, they are turned and then sanded on one side gently. I'm sure most of you guys got one of those out there, but how are they? Do they feel funny in your fen with that one flat side, or do you just put that away from where your fingers are and you don't feel it? I know Carrie has one. I've never diamond painted with it, but yeah, they are poured. They're cast, then they're turned, and then they're flattened. Again, great idea. But yes, I wish I'd have thought of it first. But I've only been around 2 years. They've been around a long time. Leaving on the 25th for Michigan. I use it for my thumb. Very comfortable. What's a thumb? Oh, thumb. Probably thumb. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sort of makes a place for your thumb to sit. It's a great idea. I love it, Ellen. Yeah, and again, Ellen, I wish I thought of it first because it's a great idea. And I think Renee told us that one of her pens rolled off and broke, and her dad come up with this idea about sanding one side of it flat and keeping it that way and smoothing it out, and that way it won't roll. I'm thinking, yeah, genius, absolutely genius. Ooh, that's feeling good. I bet you this was going to be sparkly when we're done. Ah, that works, Ellen. I figured it out. I figured it out. I figured it out. And typos are okay. I don't mind them. I do plenty myself. And YouTube is one of the last places in the world they let you actually correct your post. There's no edit feature like many other chatting functions and different things. All right, here we go. A little bit of polish, Morgan. A little bit of polish. And the cool thing about the polish, Morgan, is you just have to hold it against there and let it do its job. Here we go. Looking good. Looking good. Spell check strikes again. Yeah. Oh, yes, yes, yes. That's a pretty one. Look at that bad boy. Very colorful, huh, Joe? Very colorful. And there is a lot of glitter in that thing, I'll tell you. Let's go to the leopard scope because you need to see the amount of little sparkly glitter that's in there. Let's see. Leopard scope selection. Here we go. I'm not sure if you see all that sparkle on the regular camera. But it is very sparkly. Love it. Purple, some kind of pink, blue, green. That pink might actually be a salmon. Looks a little orange. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Excellent. Yes, Ellen, that is what I say. Wow. They just, that's why I use the leopard scope because I'm sure that you guys can't see as much from this camera that's mounted above the lathe as you can when you're in the leopard scope because it's so blown in. That would match Emma Casey's paintings. Yes, ma'am. That must be Melissa talking now and not Morgan. Morgan probably went to play with his friends. All right, everybody, that is it for this evening. We appreciate you being here. We hope we all learned something. I know I do every single night. Hopefully, we've imparted a little bit of information out into the world there and help you make better selections on your pens, ink pens, and all that good kind of stuff. Not Melissa? Oh, so Morgan knows all about Emma Casey paintings? That's awesome, Morgan. Good job. Good job. All right, everybody, you have a good evening. We will see you tomorrow night turning some more. And till then, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.